Hey man, we got the subdued Chael Sonnen. We didn't get the full Chael Sonnen experience here. So, you know, what's it like? We're ready for the Chael Sonnen show.
Well,
Break
listen,
it out.
yeah, I don't have a show. You know, I just tell it like it is. You guys ask the questions, I answer them. I don't manufacture conflict. I think I'm the most respectful guy in the sport. I have a vastly different opinion of what respect means than some people. Some people think it's respectful to lie and be nice to your face and bow and put a knife in your back when you turn around. I will tell you to your face that when you turn around, I'm going to put a knife in your back, and then I'll do it.
That's respect.
That's respect.
Talk about, Brian, obviously his skills. I know you're very respectful of him as a person, but people seem to think that you're really going to hold a wrestling advantage, and that's going to be the key to victory for you. Do you feel like that's fair, or do you think that he looks like he's improving every time out?
Yeah, you know, I haven't been a wrestler for some time. I stopped wrestling in 2003, and so I've never counted on that going into a fight, being able to wrestle somebody. And it's hard to win a fight wrestling. Yeah, you got to go out there and fight. So I've never really thought about that, but I haven't thought about the fight a whole lot. I've got to get through the weigh-in, and then Friday night when I go to bed, I'll close my eyes and start to think about that.
So you're saying you haven't thought about the matchup itself? You just think about
I never think about the match. Yeah, just prepare, but I will. You know, I still got a couple days. I'll think about it a little bit, go to sleep, and get up and go do my job.
Kind of late for game planning, right? I mean,
I don't do game plans. Listen, guys. You can take all these guys with their 8th grade education and their gold teeth trying to sit around and break down a fight. This is the most unsophisticated and unwell thought out thing you need to do in life. 2 half-naked men are going to get in a steel cage and fight for the applause of a drunken, rowdy crowd in Houston, Texas on Saturday night. We don't need to plan for this.
Chael, you talked about how you made a distinction between training for a fight, practicing, that sort of thing. So how hard was it for you to kind of go through that long time off and then get back into it and kind of get in the ring roughs off?
Well, it was tough for me, and I never had to wear those shoes. I've always stayed real busy competing since I was 9 years old. You know, in wrestling, I'd compete 5 times a week. You know, every Saturday I'd have 5, 6, 7 matches my whole life. So taking 14 months with no competition was new, and it's tough. It's been tough. I'm still going through it.
Is it you know, obviously you talk a lot about wanting to fight Anderson and get that chance for the belt back. Any problem with, you know, making sure you're focused on this fight and not looking kind of too far ahead?
Yeah, I always look ahead, though. I don't ever focus on anything. Again, this doesn't require focus, guys. This is a fist fight for a 15-minute time limit. I can't think of anything less meaningful or important in life than that. You guys have all worked more than 15 minutes just today. So I'm going to have to go work 15 minutes in my last 14 months. I'm not going to sit around and complain about that or act as though I'm building a piano here. It's a fight.
Was there any benefits to the time off at all? Sometimes we hear guys say, well, I got some nagging injuries to heal up, I got some time to rest.
Yeah, guys are wimps, and I'm not one of them. I don't need time off. You know, my father worked hard every day, and he never once called in sick if he needed time off. You get up and you go do your job when the alarm goes off. I don't feel good right now, but I signed a contract. I said I'd be in there Saturday, and I will.
After being off since last August and you're fighting an American hero, how do you feel you'll be received on Saturday?
Listen, I only ask the crowd to do 2 things: be present and be loud.
Even if they're booing?
They can do anything you buy a ticket, man. You do whatever you want. Don't touch me, I won't touch you, and let's just have a good time. Because when I'm a fan, I show up to boo. I don't show up to cheer. I show up to heckle. So what goes around comes around, and I fully expect it.
You said you like looking ahead, so does that mean you're already thinking about Anderson a little bit? And
you know, I just whatever's next. You know, I try not to dwell on any event. And Brian could beat me. I can beat him. I don't know what's going to happen in there, you know. I like those odds, 50-50. But, you know, it doesn't matter either way. Either way, you got to move forward. Time is the only dimension that goes one way, forward. And whatever's next is next. But I don't focus on matches. I don't do those kind of things. Some guys do, and I just don't.
It seems like a pretty simple thing to you, like maybe we overcomplicate it, but is fighting somebody that you do like and respect any different than fighting somebody that maybe you don't care for as much as some of your past opponents?
Yeah, I would rather fight really anybody else than Brian or a friend. You know, he's a friend, but, you know, so's Okami, so's Mark Horse, so's Dan Miller, so's Trevor Prangley, and I fought them all. And, you know, let's not get hung up on the word fight. We're just competing. 2 friends go outside and play basketball against each other all the time. This is our sport. We're going to go compete, and we'll shake hands when it's over.
Good luck. Now, you were the announcer for the fight. How would you describe the difference between the guy and
Well, he looked really good in his first fight. You know, Brian was a natural. He fought a national wrestling champion, my teammate, Aaron Stark, and, you know, he stopped him in a couple of minutes in the very first round. I couldn't stop Stark in a couple of minutes in the first round, so I was impressed. I grabbed him after the fight, introduced myself, and just said, man, I think you're really good. I just wanted you to know. I still think he's really good. When he was green and didn't know much about fighting, he won the world championship in the WEC up a weight class. So I don't question his skills at all.
You say you guys are friends, friendly. How long have you known him? And can you kind of detail?
Well, I met him the day of his first fight. You know, I'd have to check Sherdog and find out when that was, but I imagine, you know, 5 or 6 years. And he came out and trained with us for a while and was out in Portland and thinking of joining the team and ended up somewhere else. But, you know, I've known him since the beginning of his career.
And how much of a concern is fighting someone who's got that kind of power? And obviously, he's known for his knockout.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, he is. He hits hard. He's a strong guy. You know, I fought 46 men, and not one of them has ever outstruck me. So if he can do it, if he can be the first, then God bless him. He can have the win. He deserves it.
Talk about your impromptu training session in there with Gray. What's going on?
Oh,
there?
yeah, no, Gray grabbed a hold of me and said, let's pummel for a little bit. And he's a strong 55-pounder, man. That's what I told him. Golly, you are strong. Grabbed a hold of me around the hips. I was trying to get my hips back. Strong guy.
Now, at the season of The Ultimate Fighter, you were targeted as one of the coaches. How do you see that final playing out between Bisping and Mayhem?
Well, I think it's a good fight. I think Bisping's really good. I think he's got a lot of skills and wins a lot of fights. I also think Mayhem's been overlooked a lot for years, and he had to sit out, and he's had some really hard matches between Shields and St. Pierre, and frankly, whoever they asked him to fight, he steps in there and fights. So that's a hard fight. I think that Bisping's got the edge, but Miller shouldn't be overlooked. He could win that fight. I think he's the underdog, but and rightfully so, but he could definitely win the fight.
Gotcha. Dana said that, you know, the winner of your fight could get Anderson next, or potentially Dan Henderson could get him if he beats Shogun. What are your thoughts on that? If potentially, you know, I know Dan's a friend of yours, but if he gets the shot ahead of you guys coming from a different division.
Yeah, well, I'm in complete support of Dan Henderson, and I hope his career is great. Wherever he goes. I don't know if he has an interest in going to 85. I imagine he could be talked into it if Dana asked him to. But he can cover 3 different weight classes from, you know, heavyweight, 205, 85. So I got his back either way.